Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Blaze2k, and as you know, I love the Steam Deck, and I've been talking about doing this for the longest possible time, but I finally received my 2TB SSD. Oh yeah. Unlimited storage. I'm going to be dildo-ing this on my Steam Deck. I'm going to have half Windows, half Steam, SteamOS, and hopefully should have a lot more storage for a lot more games, and it should just make this thing even more foolproof. And I've obviously got a 1TB micro SD in this as well, so we're at the end of it, we're going to have like 3TB of space, which is going to be awesome. And I could put as many games on this thing as I want. Well, up to 3TB, of course, but we're going to install this into this, and it's not going to be a tutorial video of sorts. I'm going to just show you me doing it. There's better tutorials out there that go top down, looking down at the Steam Deck as the guy's taking out the screws. He's editing the video to put circles around the screws, taking it at a snail's pace. I'm just going to show you me doing it. If I end up breaking it, you'll get to see if I break it, because this was not cheap. So hopefully, fingers crossed, keep your fingers crossed that I managed to do this. Anyways guys, let's get into it. Please like, subscribe, click the bell icon for more Steam Deck videos on your homepage every day, because I post multiple tech, gaming, Steam Deck videos every day on YouTube on this channel. So giving me a like, subscribe, or dinging that bell icon would really help. And if you want to support everything I do, consider clicking join down below or visiting my Patreon for behind the scenes videos and vlogs. Anyways, let's get into it. So first things first, I need to take off this damn case off the Steam Deck that I purchased. I love this case, by the way. I'll put a link to it in the video description. But I need to take this off, and crucially, number one, you need to take out your micro SD card or it will get snapped in half. And since I've got a terabyte micro SD in here, I really don't want to damage that. Put that over here. And number uno, remove micro SD card. Boom. 1TB. Picked that up at the worst angle, but there you go. Terapito. Very cool. So all we're going to really need for this is an electronics screwdriver with little Phillips head screws, and obviously your kit. That's all you need to basically take the screws out and do this. I've also got a little spudgy thing, a little plastic thing here, which I'm going to use to pry apart the battery connector so I don't touch it with my own hands. Guys, I just want to say this would not have been possible if it weren't for iFixit's cool little case here. You open it up, you get all these little bits here, you get your screwdriver, magnetic tip, you name it. It's just got a lot of cool features that I really love, and I love this little lid for putting screws in. So there we go guys, I'll put a link to the iFixit kit down below in the video description. You can pick it up off Amazon right now, and it's awesome, and it really helped make this thing a whole lot easier. So we're good to go. We're going to remove 8 screws here. So we're going to remove this one, this one, this one, this one, and then the 4 in the middle, these 4 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And after we remove those, we should be able to pry the back shell off, and we should see the insides of this. Let's do it. And one thing I completely forgot to do. I could have ruined this whole thing. I forgot to shut it down. So shut it down, all right? Press the power button, make sure it's shut down, confirm, make sure it's fully shut down before we begin opening the case, okay? Now, if you want to be extra cautious, you might want to maybe just power down the device to the point where it just doesn't turn on anymore, just to make sure there isn't that much excess electricity in the device. But you don't have to do that. That's just, you know, just if you want to be extra cautious. Anyways, let's get these screws unscrewed. We've removed all 8 screws, and now it's time for the moment of truth, taking this back shell off. How's it going to go? Oh, what do I use to pry it up? It's not coming off. No. So guys, we did it. We removed the back of the Steam Deck. So basically what I had to do is I had to basically grab this, squeeze it in around the trigger area, and then just slide it down through the crack around the 2 parts of the Steam Deck, and it just started to pry apart. So we've got that done. Now we have to remove a couple of more screws. So there's actually 4 more screws we need to remove from this thing, okay? We've got hold on. Oh. Okay, I couldn't find the screws there, but there are 4 screws holding this metal plate that we need to take off. There are 4 screws holding that to the deck. There's one here at the top left corner at the bottom. You can barely see it. You've got one down here at the bottom, left. You got one down here at the bottom right. So one at the top left, bottom right, and there's one hiding behind this little metal sticker that we'll have to peel up. But don't remove the sticker completely, because we're going to want to put this back down after we're done putting it back together. Okay, so let's get those removed. All right, we've removed all 3 screws here. We're going to go for this middle one here. We're going to remove that next. Now it's time to peel off or lift up this metal plate here. Let's see if I can get this plastic tool to do it. Boom. It's been taken off. Very nice. All right, next up, the more important thing we need to do now is remove this little battery connector here. Now, I wouldn't just go ham at this. You're going to want to take your time, okay? So I've got my little plastic prier thing here, little plastic thing, and we're going to try and pry this thing out. Slowly and surely, we're going to go from side to side and slowly pry this out. Now, you really want to be careful with this, because if you do anything wrong here, you could end up damaging something, right? All right, guys, I'm not going to lie, removing the battery was probably the hardest part of this SSD upgrade. But here's a little tip for you, okay? So you're going to want to sort of pry it out with something plastic at both sides of the battery connector. One side, then the next side. Just go, Oh, let me show it from this side. Push it out this side, push it out this side with this. Don't touch it with anything metal, okay, like a screwdriver. And then you're going to want to grab this little tab at the back here. See that little tab? It lifts up. You're going to want to pull on that tab as you push it out with your finger. So pull up the tab and then push it out with the finger, and it should come out pretty easily. I was fiddling with it for like 5 minutes trying to pry it out with this little plastic prier bit, but it just wasn't having it. So that little tab is very useful. Let's get into the next part. So now we've done that, we want to make sure we've removed any excess power from the device, and that, all you have to do for that is just press the power button a couple of times, all right? If there's any more power floating around in the circuit board, in any transistors or anything, we're wanting to use that right now. And I'm going to press it a couple of times. It's not turning on. Very nice. Okay, I think we've probably drained just about every minute bit of electricity floating around on this, because you really want to avoid powering, having any sort of power in this thing while you're hot swapping the SSD. Not to say you can't and that you would break it, but just in case anything shorts, especially when we've got the back cover off. Pardon me. Okay, let's go. So for those of you guys that have gaming laptops or PCs and you've worked with NVMe SSDs in the past, even if you have a PS5 and you've upgraded your SSD in there, this is going to be very similar. Okay, so we're going to get our Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to remove the little screw down here. You see it? Little screw right here. So unscrew this. I'll do this live. I'm not going to cut away for this one. Oh, be very gentle with these screws. Hopefully have a screwdriver with a magnetic tip on it so you could grab the screw with the tip. All right, we're going to put that here, bottom left corner. And what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the shielding from the SSD, okay? It's this little bit of foil here. We're going to put this on our new one. Slide it off nice and gently. Boom. Here's the shielding. This basically protects the SSD, okay? We've removed the shielding. We're going to place that there. And now all we have to do is remove the SSD, okay? Here we go. And here it is, the 512 gigabyte SSD inside the Steam Deck. I don't know why it's not focusing. There it is. Is it focusing now? But there it is, 512 gigabyte SSD. Kingston, it's a Kingston one. Hold on, this is 2 terabyte, it says. I'm just kidding you. All right, let's place this down on the side here, and let's move on to the next part, shall we? All right. What we're going to want to do now is we're wanting to grab our brand spanking new 2 terabyte SSD, and we're going to put that sleeve on the same way it was on the last one. Let's do it. Okay, so we're putting that sleeve on. Let me zoom out a bit. Focus seems to be getting jacked up there. Okay, so we've got the sleeve on the new SSD, and to install the new SSD, we just put it in at the angle it was coming out before. Okay, so we put it in like that. Slide it in, slot it in. Let's zoom in, show you that. up close, up nice and close. So it's slotted in. Make sure those gold connectors are fully inside the connector thing there. We're going to want to grab our screwdriver here. We're going to grab that screw that held down the 512. We're going to make sure it's on the tip of the screwdriver. Like it says, if you have a magnetic tip screwdriver here, it's going to be very helpful. Can I get that to focus? I can't. No. There we go. So we're going to put it down. We're going to press down on the little sleeve, and we're going to put the screw in, and it should screw in. Try not to cross thread it, okay? And it is now installed. Boom! It's held down. It's got the sleeve on it. We're good to go. Now at this point, we're just going to have to rebuild the Steam Deck, which shouldn't be too hard, right? We took it apart. We could put it back together. So first things first is we're going to plug in the battery. The most hated part of this whole experience. I'm going to plug in the battery. We're going to put the metal shielding back on again. Turn the camera up. We're going to put the metal shielding back on, screw in the 4 screws, put the tape back down on top of the metal shielding, this bit of tape here to cover the screw, and then put the back plate on, screw everything up together, and then we're going to get into dual booting, I guess. Okay, let's get into this. Oh my god, we did it. We got the battery connector back on. Now for the metal plate. All right, we have screwed in the 4 screws. Now we just fold this little tape back over that 4th screw. Boom, there we go. And then we put the back plate on. Also, if you have any compressed air, you might want to give the back of the Steam Deck a little spray, just in case any dust got in and about here. If you don't have compressed air, that's fine. It should be fine. Now, once you're putting the back plate on, you should just align it up, make sure it fits, and then give every little side a little squeeze, and you should hear little clicks, and that should indicate that the back cover is nice and secure. And now we just put the screws in for the back. Just be mindful not to over tighten these screws, okay? Because from what I've heard, they're not the best quality screws. So you don't want to really be over torquing them, okay? Because bad things could happen, and then you might just ruin the screw, and then make it very hard if you ever need to get back in here to put the screws, to take the screws back out. Let's say you're upgrading the SSD again. Let's say they come out with a 7 terabyte SSD, NVMe SSD, and you've ruined your screws. It's going to be a little bit of a pain to get these out. But just take your time, don't over tighten them, and you should be fine. And voila, the back is screwed in. Let me just adjust the camera up here. I've done it. I've upgraded to 2 terabyte SSD in my Steam Deck. It feels good, looks good. The triggers still work. Obviously, make sure triggers still work. Triggers work fine. Shoulder buttons work fine. Very nice. Everything's nicely aligned. Sweet, we're good to go. Okay, buttons work. D-pad. Everything feels good. We didn't mess anything up. Back buttons work fine. Yes. Now we have to install Windows. But I mean SteamOS first, before we dual boot. Now I'm not going to take you through the whole dual booting process, because it is quite, it's not a long, hard, difficult process, but there's definitely other YouTubers that have made the process so much easier. One YouTuber that I recommend going to and to watch how to dual boot and how to reinstall SteamOS is Deck Wizard. A fellow Brit. Go check out Deck Wizard's channel. He'll tell you how to dual boot and stuff like that. I'm going to dual boot. I'm just going to get SteamOS installed first, and that involves going to the Rufus website, RUFUS, downloading Rufus, which allows you to burn images onto a USB drive. And then I need to go to the Steam download section and download the latest SteamOS image to burn onto a USB drive. And at that point, we just plug it in, go into the BIOS, and boot from that USB SteamOS install USB drive, and install SteamOS on this fresh, brand spanking new 2 terabyte SSD. All right, let's do it. So, funnily enough, since I dual booted the system previously, I still have the 2 USB drives, one with Windows 10, one with SteamOS, already good to go. So all you're going to need to do, obviously, to install that is to get a USB-C dongle like this one. Just any one will do, just to allow you to plug these into this, plug this into the Steam Deck, and install your fresh copy of SteamOS onto the Steam Deck. Let's go. So we're going to boot into the bootloader here by pressing minus and the power button at the same time, all right? And hopefully the screen turns on. This is the moment we find out if we've broke the Steam Deck, okay? Woo! I'm getting worried there. the screen wasn't turning on, but it's turned on now, and it is saying default boot device missing or boot failed. Insert recovery media and hit any key, and then select boot manager to choose a new boot device or to boot recovery media. Now, as you can see, I've got my USB drive with SteamOS flashed on it, with a USB hub, with USB-C power going into the USB-C hub, because we don't want the Steam Deck to run out of power while we're installing SteamOS. So let's go OK, and then we're going to go to boot manager, and then you're going to see EFI USB device down here, and that's basically your USB drive, which we're going to boot into the SteamOS installer with. And now it's booting in. Yes. Alright guys, we've booted in to the recovery USB drive. We've got clear local user data, re-image Steam Deck, reinstall SteamOS, or terminal with repair tools. And here we have our 2TB SSD, 1.86 terabytes. Why is it never the full terabyte? I'll never know. It's the same with USB drives, but we're going to close out of that, and we're going to choose not reinstall SteamOS, we're going to choose re-image Steam Deck. I almost chose reinstall, but no, it's re-image Steam Deck. And we're going to close out of that. Close this little window here. And then we're going to go up to re-image Steam Deck. We're going to click on that with the right trigger. And it's going to ask us, this action will re-image the Steam Deck. This will permanently destroy all your data on your Steam Deck and reinstall SteamOS. This cannot be undone. Choose proceed if you want to clear, if you wish to clear and re-image the device. So we're going to click proceed. And we're going to get into installing this. Let's go. That's it, installing right now. So now it's done. It says re-imaging complete. Choose proceed to reboot the Steam Deck now, or cancel to stay in the repair image. So we're going to click proceed, and it should restart into SteamOS, our fresh SteamOS installation. And here it goes. So here we have it. We're booting into SteamOS now, and boom, there we go, success! We're at the SteamOS setup page, so we're going to select English and proceed from here, and hopefully everything should be fine. So after going through it, it sent me back. I had to download an update, updated the operating system, and now it sent me back to the beginning again. So I'm going to select English and go through it all again. And hopefully it should go fine. So here we are, in SteamOS has been installed. Look at that. And we're going to go into the settings and make sure that it's 2TB, just to make sure I wasn't scammed, because that would be kind of sucky, right? Let's go down to storage. Where is it? Down here. There we go. Storage. Boom. What does it say? What does it say? 1.8. 1 point what? 1.8. 1.8 terabytes. Yes. So there we go, guys, 1.8 terabytes, or 1.84 to be specific. So I'm going to split this in half, with Windows taking one half, SteamOS taking the other half. I'm going to do the dual booting off this video, because, like I says, Deck Wizard's the guy to go watch if you want to do that. But yeah, guys, that was pretty easy. Didn't take too long at all, and I can now get as many games as I want installed in this thing. So thank you for watching. Hopefully it was somewhat helpful. But yeah, I'm going to get this dual booted now. So guys, there we go. We installed our 2TB SSD into the Steam Deck. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this wasn't so much as a tutorial, because there are better tutorials out there. It was just a step-by-step process as I did it on mine. Now, like I said, there's better tutorials out there, but it was pretty easy overall, and I would totally recommend doing this if you're maybe on the 64. This is a necessity actually. If you're on the 64GB SSD, Steam Deck, sorry. It was pretty easy, easier than I thought it was going to be. Had it done in like 5 minutes, give or take. I mean, okay, a little bit longer, but I was trying to take my time. But I'm really happy with that. Now I'm going to get this dual booted with Windows and SteamOS, hopefully half and half. And then I should have enough storage for all my games. So hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing me upgrade my Steam Deck. It was fun, I enjoyed it. And I can't wait to install a bunch of games on this thing. Oh, I forgot one last thing. A 1TB micro SD. So this is no longer a 2TB, no longer a 512. It's a 2TB, and with this, it's going to be a 3TB Steam Deck. Take that, Linus Tech Tips. I know you already posted a video showing off a 3TB Steam Deck before, but as of right now, it's a 3TB Steam Deck. Let's go. If this video was helpful, guys, please drop a like, hit the subscribe, click the bell icon. I'm Blaze2K. We post Steam Deck content on this YouTube channel on your homepage every single day, as long as you click subscribe and the bell icon and give this video a little like. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. I love you. I really appreciate you. I stream every day on twitch.tv/Blaze2K Gaming down here. See? Link in the description down below as well. And I also have a Twitter account where I'm always posting updates on what I'm doing and stuff like that. Yeah, come follow me on Twitter. Come follow me on Twitch. Ask questions on stream if you want to. Support by clicking join down below or going to my Patreon at Blaze2kx. And yeah, please subscribe. Thanks guys for watching. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. It's Blaze2k.